and welcome to Rim and Rubber and to the Bike Show. We are here in Greenside as always. This is a wonderful establishment, wonderful food, wonderful company, wonderful when we're here. So remember, we film every Wednesday. If you want to come down and watch us do what we do, please pitch up and pitch up any other night of the week as well, because it really is a top place to be. Anyway, back onto the show. Loads coming up. Later in the show, we've got a couple of custom choppers that will be entered in the South African Bike Festival. You get an early chance to see what they're all about. And we'll also be taking a visit with Don to the BMW GS Trophy. But first, Harry is going to kick off with what is really a cliche of a motorcycle.
If ever there was a manufacturer that receives a disproportionate amount of criticism, it's Harley Davidson. We know all the old cliches. Heavy, slow, doesn't handle, out of date, old-fashioned even, hardly dangerous. The list goes on. There's also the perception that Harley-Davidsons are bought by middle-aged tosspots who only buy them for the image and the lifestyle. What I say is, so what? What is the problem with all that? Everybody that I know who owns a Harley absolutely loves them. And I will say, right here and right now, as an aging tosspot myself, that I actually love them as well. Mind you, when I was a kid, I also loved them. So that kind of, well, that puts that argument to bed, doesn't it? What people seem to forget is that a Harley is one of the most honest bikes you can buy because it doesn't pretend to be something it's not. It doesn't apologise for being what it is, and in fact, it's staunchly proud of itself. It's as much a symbol of America as, well, the Stars and Stripes. And in an age where everything is becoming more and more homogenised and multicultural and PC, that's actually quite refreshing. This is the 2016 Harley Softail Slim S, and to my mind, it's the best of the Harley bunch right now. It's got a stonking 110 cubic inch SNS V-twin twin-cam motor, pushing out 80 brake horsepower, but more importantly, it's got a mountain of torque, enough to pull a Titanic off the seabed. And we all know, in this game, torque is king. And underneath all that, it really is a good bike. A very good bike. Simple, effective, beautiful quality everywhere, and the best fun to ride. I don't care what you think. Ride a Harley and you feel good. It really does have that effect on you. Maybe it has something to do with the sheer size of the machine. Maybe it's the sound. Maybe it's the attention you get from other road users. I've had more looks riding this than I've ever had on any superbike. And let's face it, we motorcyclists love attention. You can never accuse a Harley of not being dramatic. I mean, look at this Softail Slim. It's low, it's long, it's chunky, and it just oozes quality. The paint and what little chrome there is just so deep, you could almost dive into it. I have to say that it's probably one of the best looking Harleys in the catalogue at the moment. Old-fashioned? Maybe in concept, but certainly not in execution. This twin-cam V-twin is as smooth as you could want an engine to be. It's still got bags of character. Final drive is by belt, and it comes with ABS as standard. The suspension, perfectly adequate. The ride comfort is very, very good, and everything just exudes a chunky, solid quality that you just don't find in other bikes. Is it perfect? Well, is any bike? A superbike is hideously uncomfortable no matter where you ride it. An adventure bike, it's too tall and too heavy. And yeah, the Harley, it could do to shed a few pounds, and the cornering ground clearance is pretty pathetic, really. You can counter those arguments. Firstly, it wasn't conceived as a back lane scratcher, and with that weight comes almost unbreakable solidity. A Harley isn't going to disappear very fast. Ride it as it was designed to be ridden on the open road, and it delivers an experience like no other. If you can handle the sound of scraping footboards, it's even entertaining in the corners as well. Are they old-fashioned? Yes, you can trace a clear line from this model to the very first Harley in 1903, but that's what Harley called heritage, and that's exactly what owners want. They love that feeling of riding a piece of history. They have a physical link to every remaining Harley-Davidson on the roads of the world. When did you last ride your Fireblade and give another rider on a 90cc Honda Cub a second glance? You just don't. When you buy a Harley-Davidson, you don't simply buy a motorcycle. One of the more welcome cliches is that you buy into a lifestyle. No other manufacturer, with the possible exception of BMW, has a more active owners club or does more to organise rides and events to involve those owners. However, whether you buy into that whole aspect of ownership doesn't really matter, because the bike speaks for itself. And I would wager that 99% of those people who criticise Harley-Davidsons have never actually ridden one, because if they had, they wouldn't be able to wipe the smile off their face. And I can think of no better endorsement for a motorcycle than that. Hell, it even looks good when you're wearing white sunglasses, so what more can you say?
Thank you. Round of applause for Harry, but I think I must first take issue with the fact that that's a cool bike, but those sunglasses are not cool.
Yeah, look, you said people were giving you
a bit of audience participation. Have a look at him. I mean, are these cool glasses?
Oh, they've got no taste. No taste.
Get them off.
You said people were giving you looks. Was it really because of the bike?
It was just because of me.
It's because he had an open-face helmet. That's why I was looking at it.
Listen to me, I have to ask you something. You said it's an honest bike.
Yes.
But it's a bit kind of vague. Okay, what's it called, a Softail Slim? What does that mean?
It reflects the rider who's going to buy it. For example, you're testing next week the Fat Boy.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. So there you go. Well, you can have a go on it as well if you like.
I'm glad to see you cutting straight to the technical details of the bike, Slim Boy. So why is it a Softail? I mean, well, it's obviously styled like
it looks like a hardtail, but there is a spring hidden under the seat somewhere, so it has got suspension at the back.
Very limited travel on it. Yeah. Okay. So what sort of money are we looking at?
It is 264,000 rand, 85 brake horsepower, and 145 newton meters of torque, which is a lot.
I mean, that is the same as a Panigale.
Yeah.
12.99 Panigale.
You see?
Unfortunately, it weighs as much as a container full of Panigale.
Well, this is problem because it is what we have 308 kilograms, and that's dry. So with all the fuel and fluids, it's about 330 kilograms, which isn't a lightweight bike.
And it doesn't matter though, because the weights low down. They're actually pretty easy to paddle around on at low speeds. These things. To be fair,
even I can touch both feet on the floor.
Even Don, you see, there's an even better endorsement for the bike, and I will give it a TomTom rating of 4.5.
And you drop the half for?
I can't give it 5. No bike gets 5, does it? I suppose it loses a half because it hasn't got a pillion seat, which does it's a lot of bike just to have one person on it. That's sketchy, I know, but that's
pretty sketchy. Move on to what else you can...
what else can you get? The Triumph Thunderbird Commander.
Which is totally and utterly lovely.
It is, and it's about 65 grand less than that. So you've got that, and then you've got the Moto Guzzi California Custom.
We have ridden that. That is also a fantastic bike, but that's over 200 as well, isn't it?
No, just under 200 as well.
Just under 200.
And obviously the most obvious rival is the Victory Gunner.
Which is a kind of modern take on that, really.
It's modern and it's got slightly more modern styling, but I mean, it's still a lumpy great V-twin.
And how much does that cost?
No idea.
Oh, good.
I suspect it's closer to that than the other two.
Yeah, this is 65 grand more than the other two, but don't forget, this you automatically join a club. What do you join with the others?
A smaller club.
Exactly.
Well, I can see that this conversation is going absolutely nowhere. Do you want to trade insults again?
No, I think I've got it out of my system
now.
You
called him short, you called him fat, anything else? He called me fat. Come back after the break, watch the adverts, we'll be ready with some more insults.